Alright. Let's see what LeBlanc has for us. I am certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter that elevator. It was when the needles on my pocket watch pointed to the 6 and the 12. The body was discovered 15 minutes after that in the lounge, yes? Then you, the only person in the lounge at that time, must be the criminal. Mr. LeBlanc's conclusions seemed to make logical sense. After all, the only person in the lounge at the supposed time of the murder was me. So, my eyewitness testimony. If you think you can destroy it, then come, let me see. Hurry. Do I look like a man who is having the time to wait for you? Why is he so irritated? I'm the one accused of murder here. Anyway, I must find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's account somehow, and fast. Okay.
Hold it!
That is the most mistaken way of thinking I've ever heard of. No, your silly opinion is what's mistaken. Please calm down, the both of you. In a sense, you're both mistaken. Well, if that isn't the pot calling the kettle black, then I don't know what is. He certainly has a lot of confidence in his testimony. If push comes to shove, I may need to press him for more information.
Hold it!
Mr. LeBlanc, were you able to get a good look at the inside of the elevator at that time? Of course I saw what was inside. And you're sure the victim was in the elevator alone? Yes, the only person inside was that Mr. Hicks man. This last outburst is a bit too important to let go. Okay, now I think... Is this what we...
Objection!
Yeah. Mr. LeBlanc. What is it? There is a very glaring contradiction in your testimony. What do you mean? Please take a look at the area in front of the elevator. There, the spilled grape juice. Yes, and? And will you admit you also spilled it with the blood? No, it spilled itself during the turbulence. But the interesting thing here is the set of footprints. Footprints? Yes, the ones that lead from within the elevator out into the lounge itself. It's evidence that proves that someone other than Mr. Hicks exited the elevator, alive. Ugh. There must have been another person in the elevator with Mr. Hicks. Now then, I'm done playing games. Why don't you tell us the truth? Can you please translate for us? Oh my, this is the first we're seeing of her. Well, there's some nice service on this flight. No way, that's totally impossible, I guess is what he said. No way, that is totally impossible. I know there was no other person in there. I saw with my own eyes. If you want to know what I think, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't think Mr. LeBlanc is lying to us. I suppose she's right. He doesn't seem to be lying. But then, what does it mean? What about this contradiction? Mr. LeBlanc, please, just once more, will you recall the details of what you witnessed for me? I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. I was always checking the time over and over again. I happened to follow that man with my eyes when he passed me, and I saw clearly into the elevator he was entering. But I swear there was no one else inside. No one. Mr. LeBlanc, if you would please calm down. What? Dare you two have a witness with an issue with my eyewitness testimony? No, not at all. Please, forget I said anything. Yet again, he doesn't appear to be lying. But I can't let this testimony stand as the truth. I was very upset when he passed by my seat. Why were you upset? So are you still upset now? I'm always upset! The only time I am not is when I have a piece of art in my hands. Okay, I guess I can believe you on that. And Edgeworth agrees. It's surprisingly easy to believe that about him. But I was even more upset when Mr. Hicks walked by me. I was always checking the time over and over again.
Hold it!
Why were you so attentive to the time? Because something unforgivable was happening. Come to think of it, you were yelling about something unforgivable earlier. I was giving a complaint to the attendant about the movie starting time. Return back to me my time, in money. You understand the point. Movie? Is he talking about the in-flight one that's mentioned in the magazine? Summary of the plot and start time. Interesting. Okay, so yes, it was scheduled to start at 6. They were supposed to show License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder. I cannot see that movie in my country. You can only see it on international flights. I look forward greatly to that movie. I checked my pocket watch whenever possible so I would not miss it. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came on board. So my watch is not wrong. It matched the schedule. But the movie was still late. Very, very late.
Hold it!
Your pocket watch. I'd like to ask you a little more about it, if that's alright. The movie I wanted to see would not start, so I checked my pocket watch many times.
Hold it!
So this movie you mentioned, is it the one listed in the Sky magazine? Yes! I was so looking forward to watching License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder. Miss Tenera, was this movie shown on this flight? Yes, it was shown at the scheduled time. Ooh, Isn't it possible you simply slept through it by accident? Nonsense! You doubt me? Wait, what does this say? All times shown correspond to our departure time zone. But he says he set his watch to the destination's time zone, didn't he? No, now stop pointing at me like that. Odd. How did he miss a movie that he was clearly hoping to see? I checked my pocket watch a great number of times. That much I know for sure. My watch sets my destination's time. I always set it when I board the plane. There we go.
Objection!
Mr. LeBlanc, you said this just now in your testimony. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came on board. Now, if your pocket watch has been set to our destination's time zone, it would mean that your watch is displaying the time of our destination. Yes, and the correct time is worth its 6 cents. I would like you to take a look at this. If you believe this Sky magazine, clocks on this flight run in accordance with the time of our departure time zone. Of course, the movie schedule was also created with that in mind. Ms. Tenero, for confirmation's sake, what time zone is this flight aligned to right now? Well, we made a short stop at a transfer point. That's right, it was in that small Asian country, the Republic of Zhengfa. But we didn't readjust our onboard clocks at that time. So right now, we're still running on Borginian time. What?! The time difference between Borginia and our destination is 9 hours. In that case, it's only natural that your watch would be out of sync with the schedule. Further, with your analog watch set to our destination's time, it would appear to be running 3 hours fast when compared to the flight's onboard clocks. 3 hours fast! So does this mean it was 3 a.m. when he entered the elevator? It also changes everything about your testimony. And you can bet 1,000,000 cents on that. In light of this information, it means you saw Mr. Hicks 3 hours prior at 3 a.m. My 1,000,000 cents! This should clear up all of the remaining accusations. So this basically widens the time frame for the time of death, right? Yes, because Mr. LeBlanc saw the victim enter the elevator at 3 a.m. It means that the time of death could be anywhere from 3 to 6:15 a.m. The question now is, where was Mr. Hicks during that span of time, and what was he doing? I've got something to say. And you are... her. Yeah, oh. I'm Cammy Meal. I'm a flight attendant. Chamomile. I love this series when it does punny names like that. And what is that smug face of hers? And what is it you wish to say? Well, I think your story's a little different from how I remember it. What do you mean, Cammy? I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know. What? How can you be so sure of the time? Oh, that's right. He pushed his call button while we were parked at the transfer point. Ah, the stop we made for refueling and cargo transfer in Zhangfa, correct? This flight will be making a brief stop to refuel and transfer cargo in the public of Zhangfa between 4 and 5 a.m. We ask that all passengers remain on board at that time. Yes, it was from 4 to 5 a.m. according to our clocks. And during that time, did any of the passengers leave or did any of the new ones board this flight? No. Not a single person got off or on in Zhangfa. What about the flight crew? The few who were handling the cargo transfer might have temporarily gone on or off. But eventually everyone, including Cammy and myself, came back on the plane. So basically I can assume that no one left or got on since our initial takeoff. Interesting. I should keep that in mind. Yeah, and I answered his call. I can tell you, Mr. Agby Hicks was there in his seat when we took off again at 5 a.m. So he had to have been killed sometime between 5 and 6. Alright, then that puts the time of the murder between 5 and 6:15 a.m. Okay, now what time did you come down to the lounge, Mr. Edgeworth? I remember coming down here almost as soon as we left the Republic of Zhangfa. Ugh! You were here the whole time from 5, yes? Then you're the only one who could be the killer. Shit, are we right back where we started? Were you really here in this lounge the entire time from 5 a.m. onwards? Unfortunately, yes. But then, how do we explain the footprints? Is that not obvious? This man waited for Mr. Hicks here in this lounge, waited to kill him. And then he put the corpse in the elevator. That is when the turbulence happened. My eyewitness testimony may have been mistaken. But what time I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator on the second floor does not matter. Because the entire incident concluded here in this lounge. Everything happened in this lounge. Is that what you really believe, Mr. LeBlanc? Do you have another idea? I simply feel that there is something out of place in the scenario you presented. Something that can tie this crime to a location other than the lounge. Footprints from the elevator going to the gift shop.
Take that!
The murder weapon. This little piggy bank is sold at the in-flight shop. It's sold there and only there, and is not displayed here in this lounge. How, then, did it find its way here? Don't you find that a tiny bit suspicious? Such a trivial point. It only means you prepared it, taking from the shop first before coming here. It doesn't prove you're innocent at all. Is there no way to win with this man? If I may. What is it? You see... Well, it's just as Mr. Edgeworth says. Oh? And why do you know this so well? Well, it's just that... That piggy bank was there in the shop. I saw it with my own eyes. And when was this? It was maybe around 5:40 a.m. Isn't that just before we hit that patch of turbulence? That's right. You were in the shop just before the turbulence? Yes, I was. Come to think of it... Miss Tenero, when I found the body... I believe you came out of that door. Yes, I did. And what is beyond that door? That's the flight attendant's room. Then you were on the first floor. Yes. I had to do something at the shop and in the flight attendant's room. So I went to the shop first, and then to the flight attendant's room. Are you saying you passed by me at some point? Yes, you seemed really into the issue of Sky Magazine you were reading at the time. I don't suppose you noticed me walking by. I vaguely recall someone walking by, but I didn't take notice of who it was. Anyway, the piggy bank was definitely there at the shop when I went there. Why did you go to the shop in the first place? I went there for a work-related matter. Work, you say? Huh, is he gonna place suspicion on her now? Yes, the upkeep of the shop is also one of my responsibilities. Why did you not say anything about that until now is what I want to know. In any case, I believe it's clear the shop needs to be investigated as well. Shall we head over there then? What? Oh, what is it now? Aren't you forgetting something, Miss Rhoda? Don't you need the captain's permission to check the shop? No, I haven't forgotten. But I've already asked him for permission to search the entire plane. So I think we're all right. Huh? That's weird. What is? Well, I just talked to the captain, see? And he said that he didn't give you permission to do anything like that at all. Huh? What is the meaning of this, Miss Tenero? It means she's lying. Go on and admit you are. You said you had permission to search all over, but you don't, and yet here you are. You, flight attendant, what are you trying to do? Pull the sheep over us? The captain's calling for you, Miss Rhoda. Oh, but don't worry. I already got permission to search the shop from the captain. See, unlike you, I do things the right way. Miss Tenero, why would you do such a thing? Please excuse me. Looks like I get to be in charge now. Please go back to your seat, Mr. LeBlanc. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth. If you would follow me, I'll be your guide from now on. There's something about Miss Tenero that has piqued my curiosity. A But right now, investigating the in-flight shop is my top priority. Oh, might as well. Oh. Oh, I'm really mad. You better hurry and bring me some evidence. If you could wait just a little longer while we look into the shop. Don't number the birds before they are born. Don't number the... what? I have no idea what he's trying to say. Don't count your chickens before they hatch, perhaps? Yeah, he keeps botching these expressions. All I ask of you is your patience and cooperation. Ms. Meal, about investigating the in-flight shop. You're of no use to me asleep. Wake up! The way Edgeworth is positioned and the motion he's doing with his hand, it's making it look like he's, what? Huh? What's up? I need you to come with me so I can search the shop. Go on without me. I'll catch up with you later. What is up with this chick? How has this woman not been fired yet? I see, so it already looks like one of the display cases was broken into. So this is the in-flight shop. It's quite a mess in here. You think? Guess I'll have to clean things up then. Hold on, you can't clean up a potential crime scene. Oh, thank goodness. I hate cleaning so much. I mustn't rush things here. I must remain cool, calm, and collected. Because this piggy bank was left at the crime scene. There's a very good chance that the killer had paid this place a visit. Alright. The glass from this display case's door is shattered all over the floor. And it looks like there's nothing on display inside either. Well, actually, I think there is something. What's this? A mini captain's hat. There's a wide selection of souvenirs for sale in these display cases. You know what I'd suggest? Sorry, but I have no intention of buying souvenirs on this trip. Okay, then, how about you buy something for me, then, as a present? I cannot think of a single reason why I'd want to buy you anything. But I've had my eye on that pendant for such a long time. Try paying some attention to me when I ask you something, and then we'll talk. What are these? Oh, those are our company's completely original line of suitcases. They're practically flying out the door. That's how popular they are. You should buy one and see how you like it. You won't regret it. Perhaps that's how things work on this flight, but in the real world, you try, then buy. No way, but either way, it doesn't really matter. True, either way, why would someone buy a suitcase after they boarded the plane? Anyway, see that? Just look at all the Mr. iFly head's painted on there. Cute company mascot, isn't he? They're painted on with a lot of care. Doesn't he look like he's about to jump out at you? It is certainly making something jump inside my stomach. Huh? Oh, I guess there's no fooling your refined tastes. You look like you really wanted to get one. And I thought I was going to finally make my first sale, but you saw right through it. Glad that's done, though. Never try to make me give you a sales pitch ever again, okay? But I never showed any interest in it to begin with. It really is pretty horrible, isn't it? You want to know something? This suitcase was designed by Ms. Rhoda. Ms. Tenero designed this? Yeah, it was a company-wide contest. Well, it does have a very sharp design sense. Sharp. Like stinky sharp cheddar, maybe. I really have no idea why the bigwigs decided to go with it. It's so bleh. Ms. Tenero designed this, did she? It's definitely not what I would have expected. What the? You okay? I'm fine. Please watch yourself, Miss Meal. Letting a suitcase freely roll around has got to be a safety violation. The plane shaking caused it to roll. I wonder if it did that during the turbulence. Here, I'll put it back. Stuffed toys, just like the one Ms. Meal is holding, are on display here. They're relatively cheap, which explains why they're displayed so haphazardly. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? You know you want one too. They're great for when you're stressed. Why do I envision stuffed animal abuse when she says that? Inside this display case is a row of lifesavers and life vests for sale. We sell a lot of those when there's some kind of accident or something. But some people buy them even when nothing's going on. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? Care to buy one? I sense that the shop is one shopper away from being sued. Was the captain's hat supposed to be on the iFly statue? The hat probably used to be on the piggy bank's head. Let's give this a go and see. I believe this piggy bank was forcefully removed from this display case. Does this mean the killer broke glass to get at it? Really? Don't tell me you don't know what things go where in this shop. Well, I don't. Ms. Rhoda's in charge of this place. So come on, how should I know anything? I sense the further inspection of this display case is needed. glass on this door is broken. Perhaps it was the killer who broke in order to take the piggy bank. But it's a bit odd that the inside of the case is so devoid of glass shards. Plus, the glass broke rather cleanly. Ah! What is it? I touched the glass and it cut my finger. Why would you do that? Yeah, exactly. It hurts, Mr. Edgeworth, it hurts. Please tell me you can deal with such a minor cut on your own.
Eureka!
There's definitely something very unusual about this. About what? If the killer had broken the glass to get at the Mr. iFly bank, there should be shards of glass inside the case itself. Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess it'd be like that. However, there's not a single piece of glass inside the display case. Nope, no, there isn't. Which means the glass was broken from the inside out. The piggy bank must have fallen over from the turbulence and right through the glass. Yeah, that's for sure. There's so much glass all over the floor. You know, turbulence is a thing on airplanes. Why would they make so much... Why would they have so much crap that can be so easily shattered whenever that happens? I'm willing to bet that this hat was knocked off. That this hat was knocked off its head at that time too. That's nice. Which leads me to believe that the killer took the Mr. iFly from here after the turbulence. Take your power naps on your own time, Ismail, and listen when I'm talking. Ah! But the murder occurred before the turbulence, which rules this piggy bank out as the murder weapon. So you mean the bank's not the real murder weapon? It's fake? Yes, at this point that is a very real possibility. But then what if when the killer went to take Mr. iFly, they broke the glass by accident? The display case is locked, so it's highly unlikely. Yeah, but there's one person who could have. Oh, and who would that be? Ms. Rhoda, of course. I mean, she's the one in charge of this place, so she has the keys to everything. Ms. Rhoda Tenero, huh? Yes, there's definitely something wrong here. What's with the sudden yelling? Tell me, Miss Mail, don't you think there's something strange about these suitcases? Oh, well, sure, they totally ooze strange, like the color and such. That's not what I'm talking about. Now pay attention. Ah, you're scaring me, Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry. These suitcases are lined up a bit too prim and proper. Yeah, they look a bit uptight, don't they? But I guess they take after their creator. Again, that's not what I meant, Ms. Meal. Don't you find it unusual that these cases are the only things undisturbed by the turbulence? Never mind, I'd sooner find an answer inspecting these suitcases myself. So were they moved... Were they moved after? Upon closer inspection, they really are quite hideous. I wonder how Miss Rhoda would have reacted if she heard what you just said. What's wrong? She makes a good point. It would be wise for me to watch what I say out loud. What's this? I've spotted something that's not quite right. Oh, this one has the wheels blocked, but this one doesn't. Oh, and I see some of this other stuff is bolted down too.
Take that!
This is what's so odd. Nah, I don't think it's that strange at all. Well, maybe not to that extent. I mustn't overthink this. I should let the answer come to me. What about this one, then?
Take that!
There's something very peculiar about these wheels. Huh? As in... As in? There are no stoppers in place on these. Without stoppers, one would think that the turbulence would have sent it flying. And... And so, it is very likely that the suitcase was placed here after we hit that turbulence. Let's take a closer look at it, shall we? What's this? This wheel is completely covered in something. This color and this scent. It appears the substance in question is grape juice. Ah! But why would there be juice on the wheel of the suitcase? It must have been rolled through the... It must have been rolled through that puddle. It would appear to be unlocked. Let's take a look at what's inside. A piece of cloth. And it's soaked with blood. Ah! It's blood! It appears that this suitcase is very strongly tied to our murder after all. So explain this to me. What does the suitcase have to do with the murder? I believe it's pretty safe to say that the killer used this suitcase in some manner. Such as to move something, perhaps. But aren't you just talking about the cloth, then? That alone is too small. A larger item would be needed to move what I'm thinking of. The thing I believe the killer used the suitcase to transport is... Did they transport the body in it? Something that would fit inside a suitcase that is also covered in blood. Sounds like a dead body, doesn't it? So he was killed earlier, and they used that to move the body to the elevator. But, in light of this, I'd say that Mr. Hicks was moved into the elevator from someplace else, which means that the murder was committed in an entirely different location. So you're saying that after moving the body into the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase in here and just left it? Exactly. What is it? Nothing. Just that I was thinking about what Ms. Rhoda said about coming here for something. Oh. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. I wanted to give you a bit more time, but I'm afraid I wasn't able to convince the captain. I'm very sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but the captain feels that he has allowed you ample time. He says he'd appreciate it if you would wrap it up here and return to your seat. I understand his sentiments. However, if I'm not allowed to complete my investigation, the crime scene may become contaminated by the time we land. If I must stop, then I insist I be allowed to oversee the preservation of the two sites. Under your supervision, of course. If that's your only wish, then I believe we can accommodate your wishes. I'm here to assist you in any way that I can, Mr. Edgeworth. Sounds like fun. We can camp out and watch over everything together. I found proof that the real crime scene was not in the lounge. And I have enough evidence to prove myself to be innocent of any wrongdoing. And yet, regarding what Ms. Meal reminded me about Ms. Tenero, I can't allow my investigation to end here. The truth must come to light. Oh, man. This is getting good, as usual. But, as much as I would like to continue, I think I am going to call it a night. Tomorrow, I don't know if I'm going to... I'll probably come back to this tomorrow. I was going to do some more Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remaster tomorrow, but I think I'll save that for another time, and tomorrow night we'll come back to this. So, until then, have a good night, everyone. I'll see you later.